Hi everyone and welcome back to another Mixed Media Tuesday. Today, as you can see here, I'm showing you my 6x6 art journal which has already finished. So as I'm quickly browsing through all the pages, I decided for today to do the cover. I usually do very simple covers because I like to store my art journals on the shelf as books one next to the other, so I don't go overboard with the cover, but I'm going to show you what I will do for today. This is the 6x6 watercolor journal from my signature collection with Stamperia. You can see it is nice and thick. I absolutely love when they turn out like this, and there is also the elastic to keep it together. Now, I specifically designed the cover to be white. This way you can either go with sprays, with acrylic paints, you can go with paper that you can stick on top. For today I decided to go with rice paper, and just because I do have the back white, all the colors are going to show just fine. I'm going to do only the front cover, but you can repeat the same process for the back cover as well. So I'm going to measure how big this is, and then I'm just going to cut out a piece of this rice paper and stick it down. For sticking everything down, I'm using my trusted rice paper glue, but you can use any mixed media glue that you have. I just like this one specifically, and I get a lot of questions about this one because it doesn't dry sticky. It is very easy to spread. The viscosity is perfect for rice paper. And I can use it to cover the rice paper as well, which is going to seal it down. As you can see, I went with a very neutral color for the base, but I want to add a touch of color here and there. So I'm going to bring in another rice paper, and I'm just going to separate areas that I want to stick on top of my cover. I didn't use this background paper directly, which would be beautiful, but I feel like it has too much color. It's quite busy for what I want to do. So I'm just going to pick up areas and work with those. And of course, I'm not going to destroy the bird as well as the flower, which are great elements for another project. Now, you can definitely use your scissors to cut out the areas that you want to use, but here I'm using a technique where I'm just going around the areas that I want with brush and just water. This is going to help me tear off the area that I need, and at the same time it creates kind of a distressed look. You can actually see the fibers of that rice paper. And once I stick this on top of what I already have, you will see that it instantly disappears, the edges I mean, and they blend beautifully with what is underneath. So again, I'm using my rice paper glue here, and you will see how all the edges are just going to disappear. Absolutely gorgeous. You cannot see where it starts and finishes. And I will repeat the same thing for the other design as well up at the top. Again, with my rice paper glue, I'm just going to stick it there. And even if you see a little bit of those edges, it's not the end of the world. You will get that patchwork effect, the patchwork look that is absolutely gorgeous as a texture on a background. And if you do a little bit of stenciling at the back, some stamping, everything really is going to cover up completely at the end. So I'm using my heat gun to make sure that this is completely dry, and then I'm going to use you can use a nail buffer or a file, and I'm just going to file any excess from the edges. This is going to create a lovely edge, and at the same time it rips off any excess. Now I want to introduce some white at the background to do some brush strokes and make the background look more interesting. For that I'm using white acrylic paint. Well, this is off-white, not ivory, but off-white. This is milky white as they call it. And with a very dry brush, without dipping the brush at all on water, I'm just going to create some brush strokes here and there. This creates some lighter areas. It doesn't cover up what is already there. It picks up some of the texture, and you will see that I will do it on the spine as well. And the spine is already textured, if you can feel it with your fingers. So this dry brushing is going to bring that texture more into life. You can repeat the same process at the back with both the rice papers and the dry brushing, and the back would be done. You really don't need to do any other steps for that. And now, since I have some excess acrylic paint on my glass mat, I'm just going to do some white splatters. You know I love them, I cannot stay away from them, so that's what I'm gonna do. I always feel like this splattering really brings everything together because you kind of have the same detail all over the place. So let's move on to the next step. And I want to do some stenciling. Now I do have this stencil, but I don't want to use it as it is. I only want to use the areas that give you kind of a stitching. And I think it really matches perfectly with the patchwork details that I have on my cover. Now I don't want to use the rest of all these designs, that's why I'm going to use my masking tape and just mask off areas so that only the ones that I want to use will be transferred with my volume paste. I'm working on the black so you can see exactly what I'm doing, and there are two areas of that stitching that I want to use, so I'm just going to mask off the designs next to those. And now I'm ready to use my volume paste with my spatula and just do a couple of corners. I don't want to do the whole thing. But I always say that the beauty is in the details, so I absolutely love those details in the corners. Now they also frame the project lovely and they don't add too much busyness on the background. So I'm going to do the top corner as well. Again, my volume paste, I like it because it's nice and thick and you can easily get the design, a perfect impression of the design. Now let's move on to adding some elements on top. Here I'm working with chipboard from the family collection. I need to make sure that this is not going to bother the elastic, so I will work for my composition mainly on the left part of the cover. And then I want to add something extra like a fabric to make it look more interesting. I went through the fabric that I have from previous collections. I found this one which is matching the colors of my background. I like to use my scissors and just tear off a ribbon out of the fabric that I have, and this is what I will use at the bottom. Now for sticking this down you can use any craft glue. I'm using here my Nuvo Deluxe glue, which I absolutely love. I find that it works great with fabric on top of paper, and it really grabs quickly. And I think that using fabric or burlap or a gauze that I like to use lately really adds an extra texture on a project without adding too much bulk. So here is the bottom, and now for the elements I went with chipboard because I know that this is going to be nice and sturdy for a cover. It's not just simple paper or ephemera that is paper quality. And usually for covers or for tags, I go with chipboard pieces. I am going to use foam tape at the back, and of course you can ink up the edges if you want with a little bit of brown so that they stand out against each other. And then I went with the saying that says, "Time together is a gift." And this is actually a message to my art journal because yes, working on my art journal is a gift to myself. And I loved this stack of books with the teacup at the top because they look like journals, so it is the perfect cover element. Now notice that I made sure that the elastic isn't bothered by the composition, and to bring a little bit of life I'm going to add a little birdie. Now this is from the Ephemera pack and it is a little bit shiny. If you don't like the shine, it's shimmery actually. If you don't like the shine, you can always cover it up with rice paper glue. This is going to turn any element matte. I'm actually going to do it so you can see the difference, and you can definitely cover up the chipboard pieces as well to get rid of any shine if you don't like it. So you see here I'm covering everything, the label, the books, the coffee cup, as well as the bird, and I'm going to show you here, probably you can see as I try to catch the light. Once it dries, it's going to be completely matte even on the areas that aren't dry yet. So let's embellish a little bit more. I have a chipboard heart, and I'm also going to embellish it even more with some rub-on designs that I have that match the collection. So from this one I'm going to use a couple of hearts, and I want to have more hearts coming out of the teacup. And of course, by using products from the same collection, you always know that everything is going to match. You see the design of those hearts is exactly the same as the chipboard heart that I used. I'm rubbing everything with my ball tool. I find this is the best way to transfer the rub-ons, and I never had issues with that. Now I will sacrifice one of these designs because I want to use the flowers. Don't always look into the designs as they are, just try to make them work for you. So here I wanted the bouquet of flowers, and this way I can have it coming from behind to embellish and decorate my composition a little bit more. So that's the part of the design that I'm going to use. I completely destroyed the design with the little girl, the little mouse holding the bouquet. But who cares, no one will ever know. And I'm going through the rest of the rub-ons that I have. Again, there is this bouquet that I could have used instead. But you know what, I'm going to combine those two so that I make my flower composition there look even fuller and kind of extend it towards the top as well. So just audition where you want to add them and go ahead and stick them down. Now I like the rub-ons because they are very easy to transfer and they kind of blend in perfectly with what is underneath. So it becomes part of the page with no dimension at all. One thing, however, that you need to keep in mind is that your background has to be completely dry. Even if you did a little bit of ink blending, make sure that the ink is dry, otherwise the rub-on is not going to stick. Other than that, you will have no issues at all. And it's time for the finishing touches. I'm using my white gel pen. I'm going to add some highlights in some areas on the chipboard pieces. Just always make sure that when you have a character, to add a little dot on the eye. It's going to bring it to life magically. And then for the finishing touch, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to add some white splattering. I do already have splattering at the background, but I need to add that little detail on top of the cutouts as well. So that was the project for today. Here are some close-up photos where you can see all the details better. I hope that you had fun, that you got inspired. Links to everything I used can be found linked down below in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.